Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. Today we are doing something just a titch different than we normally do. I'm working on a super secret project that I will show you when it's done and it's given to the person that it's intended for. But it's a custom size and I don't have an envelope that'll fit it, so I need to make an envelope for myself today. Now, Stampin' Up! Does have slimline cards in the catalog. This is kind of a slimline card, but not quite the dimensions that I need. So this is my tester piece. This isn't the final product. But what I've done is I've taken a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper and I've scored it according to the pattern that I want it to be. So if you have directional paper like I do here, you're going to want to make sure that you've got it cut the way that it is going to show. If you're wanting to use, say, this other side as your facing side, that's really not too terribly important to have it facing the right direction. You can absolutely do that as well. Actually, I think for ease today, I will have this be my outside piece. So what I did was, first of all, I scored it with the long score lines that I needed. It's 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and then I cut it at 9. So that's it, just 3 score lines. I kind of made a bit of a boo-boo here, but that's okay because it gives us a little bit of room for expansion if we need it. And then on the side, because I'm using a full 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper, it needs to be able to accommodate an 8 1/2 inch wide piece of paper. So I've scored it at 1/2 inch, and then again over here at 9 1/4, and then I cut it at 9 3/4. So this is going to be really easy. The only extra equipment other than your scoreboard or your Stampin' Trimmer, I'm going to use a punch just because I want it to have some interest on the flap, and of course adhesive, a bone folder to make sure that we've got really good creases, and just a pair of scissors because we're going to need to cut a little bit, not too much. Now there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can just fold it in on itself like, not like that. The side that you want facing out is needs to be facing down when you're in the assembly stage. So I'm going to flip it because I did decide I was going to do it that way. So you can either go ahead and just leave it as is and trim it, or adhere it, or you can cut on the line just so that it's a little bit less bulky down at the corner. I'm going to show you that. And then for these top flaps, all we're going to do is cut them away because we're not going to need these guys at all. Now, if you are sending this through your postal system, you will have to check with regulations. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure with Canada Post you can send pattern envelopes through as long as you've got a label so that the address can be read clearly. All right, and then I'm just going to trim. Which line is it? Because I made a mistake. I'm just going to snip here, and I'm going to snip here. And then just to get rid of a little bit of the bulk, I'm just going to do this and cut a tiny little wedge. And then that'll also make our edge lay a little bit flatter too. All right. Now, if you have the old punch, the old envelope punch, you can absolutely use that. Okay, so we're just going to run a strip of adhesive here. And run a strip of adhesive here, fold our flap, and hope for the best. Oh, perils of long hair, it gets everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to line up that edge and give it a good burnish. And we're going to go ahead and do this side, give it a good burnish. And then, oh, it's not quite even. If you get it so that it's not quite exactly the way that you want it, all you need to do is take your pick spatula down gently. Make sure you don't go too fast to tear the paper. And then there you go. Okay, and then you can just trim that off with your trimmer if you want to. Oops. So you can either go ahead and just seal it as it is, but I'm going to use our corner rounder punch. So you just need to line it up with the notches here. So one on each side. Just going to line your corner up. It might be a little bit easier to do it before you put your envelope together, but it works perfectly fine this way as well. Line it up, make sure it's tucked right in. And then there you go. If you've got some nice rounded corners, if you wanted to, you could also use this little decorative corner and add just a little bit of interest and dimension into your envelope as well. Now, because this is a homemade envelope, obviously there isn't any adhesive on this side, so you can do just a strip of adhesive before you mail it, or a sticker if you're going to hand deliver it. And then all you need to do when you go to put it in, stick in your piece of paper, and then there you go. Super quick, super easy envelopes. Honestly, one of my friends makes envelopes all the time, and I admire her for it. But now that I've made my very first, yes, this is my very first envelope, I don't know what I was so intimidated by, because it was really quite straightforward and quite easy. As long as you've got your score lines about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch or so larger than your finished piece, it'll fit in and you'll be good to go. Plus, this is an awesome way to use the designer series paper that you might not necessarily love, or you might have scads of, because honestly, if you're a paper crafter, you've probably got more paper than you know what to do with. But yeah, this would be a really cute, fun envelope to get in the mail. Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you're notified every single time a brand new video comes up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you soon.